What's up, everybody? Now, Breezy here. Let's get straight to it. We're looking at GBPUSD, which is the pound versus the dollar. And yeah, as I always say, let's break it down from a bigger time frame and scale down to the smaller. But I never trade on Mondays, but that's me, I guess. That's my plan, and I always stick to my plan, right? So first thing is first, right? I see that the previous kind of resistance you created. If I was to drag it, it comes a long way. Right? And now, just looking at this from the 4 hour time frame, we can see that the moment price hit that high right there, it started being weak, right? We dropped hard and we had that retest. Price continued dropping. We had that second retest and price continued dropping, right? So that just shows you that hey, pairs, whenever they start a trend, they kind of tend to respect it just like gold. But when it comes to pairs, right, especially like what I've realized or what I've learned is that pairs really respect every zone of yours. What do I mean by that? What I mean by this is all your support, all your resistance. That's what I mean. And I want to show you all this, right? I want to show you all this. So this is the 4 hour time frame. So I bet y'all can see what I'm talking about. And now seeing that we're approaching that support down there, I just want price to reject probably and retest again, right? Probably price to retest again and continue giving us those jobs, right? Probably targeting those lows. But yeah, just a simple setup. And now as we see what we're looking at, right? We scale over to the 1 hour time frame. And some people think like using bigger time frames will give you some kind of fragment, but I guess I never see that. But yeah, so on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we have some kind of support slash resistance, which is the zone right there, right? So you can see that it like this zone really goes a long way, right? This zone really goes a long way. And as y'all realize, every time we hit that zone, we kept on pushing to the upside. So what I mean is every time we got there, price showed us its weakness that hey, it cannot drop to the downside because every time we hit those lows, retests to the upside. Every time it retests to the upside, right? So now you tend to see that hey, if price keeps rejecting the support down there and keeps rejecting the downside, eventually it's gonna have to come back down and retest it again, right? We trade the markets for what they are, what we see, not what we think. We let the market come to us, right? That's how it is. So I'm just gonna delete this, right? So now as we see that hey, eventually price did drop back to that support and we just kind of started consolidation. And for those who do not know what consolidation is, I'm just going to cover it with my whole zone. This is what we call consolidation. Price just moving in one place, that's consolidation, right? So we see that hey, price has just been consolidating, moving in one place, doing nothing, right? As we see after that after the strong drop to the downside, I'm sorry for that, we see that we just started consolidating, hitting that resistance, back down, that resistance, back down, that resistance, back down, that resistance. So as we see that hey, eventually price is really just consolidating and nobody really wants to be there when it's consolidating, right? So we see that hey, as I said, price is consolidating, but eventually it did retest again that resistance, and we did job whereby we just created another low, right? And now the market is closed, but we know that tomorrow the market is opening. We see that hey, before the market closed on Friday, we had some kind of momentum that we picked to the upside. But what I'm truly on, right, is that if price really pushes to the upside, it might just play a little first, right? I think price might just play a little bit before hitting that resistance again, right? And probably just going back where it's from, right? we trade the markets for what they are. We trade what we see, not what we think or what we heard, right? Being a trader is a skill. You need knowledge, you need the skill, right? So now I see some kind of double bottom, right? So now I see that, and so now I've done my analysis. I know what I'm looking at, I know what I want, right? So I must scale over to the 15-minute time frame or the 5 minute whereby I'm about to execute. But as we know, it's a Sunday, we're not taking any trades. And as I follow my plan very well, I never trade on Mondays too, right? So y'all can see that kind of support that we created on the H1, which is this zone right here. And from the H1, right, y'all can see that we have that kind of double bottom, right? Y'all can see what I'm talking about. And then if I was to move to the 15-minute time frame, obviously you're gonna see it, but in a lot of candlesticks. Why? Because the smaller the time frame, the more pips or points you can secure, right? So now as we see that, hey, the same rejections that we're talking about are the same rejections we have right here. For example, let me mark those lower lows or those double bottom I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about. I just wanna adjust my circle. Yep, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about. Non-complicated. So those are my rejections, like those double bottoms, and as I've marked them, right, and like don't feel like it's necessary for you to use this kind of tools, right? It's just for me to show y'all in a more perspective way, if that makes sense. If we were to move to the 1 hour time frame again, you would see the same double bottom that I marked, right? And as we see that the moment price rejected, right, as we see that, hey, price had that impulse to the downside. The moment we created that support, right, price did peak to the upside, but eventually we came back, and now we had that subsequent bullish candle whereby we did push very good, but as we know, the market closed. But being honest, right, I really see the price probably, faking out to the upside and just breaking the support we have down here, right? That's what I'm on, like being honest. Price breaking the support we have down here, because trust me, fake outs are a real thing, right? Fake outs are a real thing. So now, as we see that, hey, we see what we're looking for, we know what we have, right? We did our analysis, we know what we're doing. So now what's left is for us to execute. But again, just because we see a setup doesn't mean there's a setup, right? Traders know, so that's how it is. So on the 15-minute time frame, right, I'm also going to show you how to execute it, because I'm a scalper breaking out trades like trendline breakout, support, or resistance breakout, right? As long as it's a breakout, we there to tackle it. So on the 5-minute time frame, I also just want to mark those support and resistance, right? And first thing is I see that we've got some kind of rejections, those zones right there. Where's my horizontal line? So I'm just gonna use my horizontal line, right? Yes, sir. I'm just gonna use my line. Yep. So now y'all can see, right, that the moment that we did create that kind of a double top, right, we did push to the upside. After that, eventually we did, because price just kept on rejecting, right? Let me demonstrate it to y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about, right? So the moment, and again, this is the 15-minute time frame, right? So the moment we hit it, and then price just started playing around, price just started playing around, price just started consolidating, doing its own thing, until price retested on the very same support, right, that we rejected. Subsequent candle to the upside, that's where you could have took your buys right there, and again, that was a clean breakout, right? And obviously, looking at it this way, obviously you are gonna say, hey, this is a retest, right? But for me, I feel it is a retest. But being honest, I feel like this is a fake out because I believe price might push and then just drop hard, right? Just hurting everybody, right? So that's what I'm really on, like just being honest. Price faking out to the upside and just and I'm sorry for that. Price just faking out to the upside and just coming back down hard, right? So now, as we see, we know what we're looking for, we know what we have, right? What's left to do is for us to execute and again follow your plan. Everything else go fall in place. That's how it is, right? Don't try to do things because somebody's doing it. Nah, do what works for you. So if we were to take this trade, or if we were taking the trade on Friday, right? As I say, breakout is my way of trading, right? So this would be the setup, like just being honest, a simple setup, a simple 1, 2, 3, you know. So this would be the setup using our support, no, we can say our resistance line, right? Which resembles our break, whereby that's where we really want price to break out. And this is the 15-minute, right? So y'all can see that eventually after those strong jobs, right? Price really for me just started consolidating. Price really just started consolidating until we hit that same support again, whereby we had the subsequent, and as we drew our resistance trend line already, and we did have that break. So that's our first confirmation. That breakout, you enter your trades, right? You push with it. Now we see we have that resistance. I mean to say, now we have that retest, and obviously now you're in profits. You push your stop loss up in profits, you secure pips, even though if you get stopped out, you secured your money, right? Trade smart, not hard. That's how it is. So yeah, nothing complicated to this. Just gotta put in the work. Make sure that you never rush nothing and don't compare yourself. Focus to yourself. Stay to yourself. Yeah, you know. Breezy signing out. Like, subscribe. Let's grow together. Grow with the boy.